The day started like any other in Port Charles, quiet, cold, and strangely still. But inside the walls of General Hospital, a storm was already brewing. Drew Kane walked through the corridors with a stiffness that terrified everyone who caught a glimpse of his face. His jaw locked, his eyes unfocused. Something was wrong, deeply wrong. And Willow Tate Corinthos had no idea that her life was about to fracture. Because Drew was about to say 7 words, 7 devastating, irreversible, earth-shattering words that would leave Willow frozen in place, gasping for air, and questioning everything she believed. Those words. Willow. Michael has been lying to you. And that was only the beginning. Willow had just finished her shift in the pediatric wing. Her hands smelled faintly of antiseptic and chalky baby powder. She was exhausted, not from work, but from the ongoing tension between her, Michael, and the entire Corinthos ecosystem. Ever since Jason returned, Michael hadn't been himself. He hid phone calls, made late-night meetings, avoided Willow's eyes when she asked simple questions. Something was off, and Willow felt it in her bones. But she wasn't prepared for Drew to be the one to bring the truth crashing down. Not him. Not today. Not like this. Drew stood outside the break room, waiting. He looked like a man who had tried to talk himself out of something but failed. Drew. Willow approached him cautiously. Did something happen? His throat tightened. He wanted to walk away. He wanted to protect her. But the truth was too big. Too poisonous to keep buried. Instead, he whispered, as if confessing a crime. We need to talk. Those 4 words felt like a stone dropping into Willow's stomach. The problem didn't start today. It started weeks ago, when Michael reached out to someone he never should have contacted. Someone dangerous. Someone who held the one thing Michael feared most. Michael's desire to protect the family had slowly twisted into something darker. Something obsessive. Drew had stumbled upon the evidence accidentally. A phone call. A half-deleted message. A meeting Michael lied about attending. At first, Drew convinced himself that Michael was just overwhelmed. Stressed. Distracted. But then Drew discovered the truth. Michael wasn't just hiding information. He was working with an enemy. And worse. He had made a decision that put Willow, the woman who nearly died for her family, right back into danger. Willow, Drew said again, his voice cracking like dry wood. I didn't want to be the one to tell you. God, I didn't. But you deserve the truth. Willow felt the room tilt. Her mind raced. Is Michael cheating? Is this about Nina again? Is he keeping something about Jason? Is someone sick? Dying? But the reality was far worse. Drew inhaled deeply. And then he delivered the sentence that ripped the oxygen out of the room. Willow. Michael has been lying to you. 7 words. 7 daggers. Willow blinked, her eyes burning. Lying, about what? Drew hesitated. Because the truth was going to destroy her. Flashback. Michael, sweating, pacing inside the Quartermain boathouse, whispering into his phone. Yes. I'll get you what you want. Just keep quiet. The voice on the other end was dark. Smooth. Manipulative. They discussed shipments. Access points. Schedules. Michael didn't realize Drew was behind the door. Listening. Shocked into silence. When the call ended, Michael dropped into a chair and buried his face in his hands. Drew stepped inside. Tell me you didn't just agree to that. Michael snapped up, startled, defensive, terrified. You don't understand. This is the only way to keep Willow safe. Drew felt punched in the gut. Michael, you're working with them. These are criminals. I don't have a choice. Michael hissed. You always have a choice. Michael shook his head. Not if I want to save my family. Back in the hospital, Willow staggered backward, grabbing the counter to steady herself. Michael has been lying, she whispered. But Michael doesn't lie. Not to me. Willow, Drew said softly, his knee deep in something dangerous. Something illegal. And his dragging the Corinthos family into it. Willow pressed her hand over her mouth. This couldn't be happening. Not after everything they survived. Leukemia, Nina's betrayal, the war with Cyrus, the courtroom battles, the custody fights. Not Michael. Not now. Tears gathered in her eyes. What is he doing? Drew's jaw clenched. He made a deal with the people who targeted Sonny. Willow's eyes widened in horror. He did what? It started with protection, Drew explained, pacing. Michael felt like he was losing control of Sunny, of the business, of you. He started negotiating behind Sunny's back. Then things escalated. Willow felt her chest tighten. Oxygen became scarce. Escalated how? She whispered. Drew met her eyes. Michael agreed to help them move shipments through ELQ warehouses. Willow let out a strangled gasp. No. Michael wouldn't. He wouldn't risk our family. Our kids. My job. My life. I wish I could say you're right. Willow backed away from him. No. No. You're wrong. He wouldn't. But deep inside, she knew. She had felt Michael's distance. His tension. His late nights. His avoidance. Her world was shattering piece by piece. Tell me everything, Willow said, wiping tears from her cheeks. All of it. Drew exhaled slowly. Michael thought helping this organization would prevent them from coming after Sunny again. But the moment he got involved, he became a puppet. Willow shook her head violently. So he lied to protect me. Willow, Drew said gently, he didn't just lie to protect you. He lied to protect himself. To keep his power. To hold on to control. And the deeper he sank, the more lies he told. Willow's heart pounded against her ribs. And now, she whispered. Drew swallowed. They are threatening him. And they are threatening you. The enemy knew everything. Where Willow worked. Where Wiley went to school. Where Amelia's nanny lived. Even the route Willow took to the hospital every morning. Michael had been warned. Do what we ask, or your family disappears. Michael thought he could outmaneuver them. Thought he was smarter. Thought he was protecting everyone. But he underestimated them. And now they wanted more. Much more. Willow clutched her chest, struggling for air. Panic climbed her throat like a vine. So my children are in danger because of Michael, she whispered, trembling. Drew stepped closer. I won't let anything happen to you or the kids. I swear it. But Willow was spiraling. How could he do this? After everything? After almost losing me? After promising he'd never keep secrets again? Her voice cracked like shattered glass. Why didn't he tell me? Why didn't he trust me? Because he was afraid, Drew said quietly. Afraid you'd leave him. Afraid you'd see the darkness he's gotten himself into. Willow wiped her tears, her expression turning cold. If he didn't want me to see the darkness, then he shouldn't have stepped into it. Willow stood tall, her voice trembling but firm. I need to talk to Michael. Tonight. Before this goes any further. Drew hesitated. There's more. Willow's eyes snapped toward him, exhausted and terrified. More. Drew nodded. Michael wasn't just lying about the deal. Willow swallowed. What else? Drew braced himself, and dropped another bomb. He's been keeping something else from you, something about Jason. Willow's knees nearly buckled. Jason? What about Jason? Drew stepped closer. Michael helped set up the situation that almost got Jason killed again. Willow felt physically sick. No, no. That's not Michael. Drew shook his head. Not the Michael you married. But the Michael he's becoming. Willow's tears fell silently. I don't even recognize him anymore. Meanwhile, Michael walked into their house, loosening his collar, exhausted, guilty, drowning in lies. He froze when he saw the living room. Willow's keys on the table. Her coat gone. Her medical badge missing. A chill ran down his spine. Willow, he called. No answer. He checked his phone. A single message. From Willow. We need to talk. Michael shut his eyes. He knew that tone. He knew what it meant. Someone told her. And he knew exactly who. Hours later, Willow stood outside the Corinthos mansion. Staring at the door, tears dried on her cheeks. Drew waited in the car. She inhaled shakily, and walked inside. Michael looked up from the couch, his face pale. Willow. She raised a hand. Don't. Not another word. Michael swallowed hard. Who told you? Willow's voice trembled. Drew. And he said enough for me to know you've been lying. You've been risking our family. You've been working with the people who tried to kill your father. Michael shut his eyes. It's not what you think. Then tell Emmy, Willow cried. Tell me the truth you were never going to share. Michael's breathing quickened. I did it to protect you. No, Willow whispered. You did it because you think you can control everything. Everyone. Even me. Michael reached for her. She stepped back. You promised me you'd never lie again. And now? Our children could be targets. All because you made deals with criminals. Michael's eyes filled with tears. I didn't know what else to do. Then you ask for help. Willow screamed. You don't drag your family into a mob war. Michael broke then, completely. I thought I could fix everything. Willow's voice dropped to a whisper. You broke everything. Michael stepped closer again. Willow, please. I love you. She stared at him, eyes hollow. I love you too, she whispered. But love isn't enough when I can't trust you. Michael's breath caught. You're not leaving. Willow nodded slowly. I am. Michael fell to his knees. No. Willow, please. She wiped a single tear from her cheek. I need to protect my children. And I need to protect myself. I can't do that with a man I don't recognize. Michael felt his world collapse. Willow stepped past him toward the door. Then she stopped, turned, and delivered her own 7 words. Outside, Willow got into Drew's car, her hands trembling. Are you ready? Drew asked softly. Willow didn't answer. She just stared ahead, broken. Inside the mansion, Michael slammed his fists against the floor, sobbing, because he knew he had lost everything. And Drew? He wasn't finished. This isn't over, he whispered to himself. Not by a long shot. Because the enemy was closing in. And Michael's betrayal was only the first domino.